What's up, Tube? Welcome back to Loguido's Chop Shop, the second best gel blaster channel on the tubes. And I just got a quick one for you tonight. A lot of people been getting their GBBs on, and this is about this little adapter. You get these little adapters for if you want to run your GBB on propane. This one's MAPP actually, but it's similar to propane in properties. And this is an adapter which just screws onto the end of that, like that, so that you can fill your GBB mag. Now, there's a couple of little things. Obviously, you need lubrication, which isn't provided in the propane alone, and that's why there is a fill port on the side of this thing, which is for putting your silicone oil into. Now, a lot of people have been talking to me saying that they've had problems with the fill port, they've had problems with the gasket or the O-ring on the actual fill port thing, and I just thought I'd just crack this open and show you guys what actually goes on inside this adapter, so that you've got an idea of what to do and what not to do. Alright, so I'm just going to take this little oil port adapter out. You can see it's got a threaded screw there with the silicone O-ring, and that is so that you can spray a bit of oil into that port. Now, I'm just going to take this apart for you guys so that you can actually see what goes on inside here. So it's a pretty simple little thing when you tear it down. You've got the circlip, the threaded ring that threads onto your bottle, an O-ring that seals it on there, and then this is your actual valve. Now if you unscrew this bottom part of the valve here, there'll be some pins and some springs. So now, on a bike tyre, if you've ever filled up a bike tyre with air, you know that there's like a little pin that you can push down to release the air out. And the gas bottle valves are not too dissimilar in that fashion. There is a pin in the middle of the bottle that lets the gas out. Now, this bar here is actually what presses down into the bottle to press the little valve to let the gas out. So that is connected through the center to your filling port. So when you push this down into your mag, you're pushing that down, which is actually pushing down on this bar, which is opening your gas. That then allows the gas to flow not only just through the middle of that, but around this and through these holes in this piece into the center of this pin through these holes here, and then out the hole that way, and then it's sealed via a rubber gasket inside there, and there's all these springs that hold it all together. Now, the reason that I'm tearing this apart and showing you all of this is because a few people have had issues with these, and part of it is to do with this gas port part. And basically, when you put this in here and tighten this up, when you get to about hand tight there, one of the holes has to line up. One of these holes, let me show you when I pull it out. One of these holes here actually has to line up with the gas port hole, because otherwise, if it doesn't have like a little bit of a indentation there for it to get into. If it hits one of the flat sides like that, the O-ring here doesn't seal all the way in. So I mean, I guess you could fix this by grinding a touch off of that, so that it doesn't foul on the inside here. The other thing is that people have had situations where they've tightened this up so tight that when they actually do, let me put this back together, when they put this back together, or I don't know if it's necessarily that they've tightened it or it's been tightened too tight from the factory, or there's insufficient lube. See what's happening here when see the pin there is sticking out the back. I'm tightening that up. Now as I tightened it, it made its way through the seal and it popped back up. But when it was down there, it was kind of jammed down there, and it can happen through either over tightening of this or I guess if the actual O-ring in here isn't getting enough, the seal in the front there isn't getting enough lube. See how it sticks down? So you need to sort of lube that up a bit so that that doesn't stick down, and also make sure, so that's over tightened at the moment. See how it sticks out and it stays stuck down? Now if that stays stuck down, what's going to happen is the gas is going to try and leak out of this oil fill port because it's pushing the thing down all the time. So you've got to make sure this is backed off, just finger tight, just so you can see that hole through that hole, so that this can always spring back once it's released from the mag. It would always spring back. Obviously, like I said, a bit of lube will help, but it also helps not to over tighten this, because that will cause that to jam and it'll stay down there. You'll get gas leaks and you're not going to have a good day, and you'll waste all your gas. So just finger tight to the point where that hole lines up with that hole, so when you put the gas filler O-ring screw in, this can still operate. If you do this up too tight, I mean I won't be able to do it tighter now because that actual gas port screw is sitting neatly in one of those little holes and not allowing me to screw or unscrew this any further. So that's just something to keep in mind when you are using this. I have had a few people complain that they might be a bit garbage because they leak or the pin's getting stuck or whatever, but that's what it is. So yeah, so this pin is getting stuck down and the gas bottle itself is jamming open, so so it's not shutting the gas feed off, and that is why some people are having problems with them. But if you treat them well and keep them lubed up and don't over tighten this into oblivion, and make sure that this is not over tightened and all your O-rings and everything are lubed up nicely with silicone oil, you should have no problems whatsoever and everyone's going to have a fun time. Alright, that's all from me. Don't forget, hit subscribe. You can hit me up for a patch on Facebook, and you can buy me a coffee if you wish. Links are all down below. I'm going to put a link to this as well down below so you know where to get it if you want to run some propane on your GBB. Alright, thanks for watching. Peace.